Now,
Yes.
you've done a lot of work around studying technology, because part of this whole aspect is also how do we do it easier? There used to be a time 10 years back where all the issues you were talking about in terms of production, the fact that it is difficult, it is expensive, all those are being taken away, the barriers. So how can we use technology in today's world to help us get to a better place?
So this category that we call creative advertising technology, which is made up of companies that are solving for various parts through the creative process, of which you would be hyper familiar, but everything from kind of ideation at the kind of beginning through to having things out in the wild, and if you are able to ad serve, then doing real-time decisioning and assembly, those kinds of things. And insights, of course, like insights that make better creative the next time, right? So that it can just be a generally more cyclical and iterative process. And when we look at those technologies as a category, there's sort of two benefit buckets. One is the production benefit, right? Which, as you said, has been, I think, problematic, and those barriers are being removed with technology. So how can you create 1,000, 10,000, 50,000 variations, without paying, a whole bunch of production people to do it manually? That saves money. That money can be reinvested. That can be reinvested in people or media or whatever. There's also the sort of performance benefit. Does it work better if I deliver creative that's more relevant or more timely or whatever, more resonant? And so between those two buckets, there's a lot of upside, a lot of upside. So I wonder if part of it is getting all of the people that are part of the creative process, who, by the way, don't all sit in the same place and aren't all sort of motivated by the same things, to be able to, use tools like this to collaborate more effectively, rather than sort of continue to operate in the ways they've been used to operating individually. Yeah,
technology and data is kind of the glue we need to enable a lot of these that are happening. So I've been another, I guess, where I was also going, in my head when you were talking about this, is I'm judging, for example, a lot of the creatives in Cannes right now, while the festival is not going on in Cannes, we are judging, and I spent the whole day judging that today. And one of the things that I see trends, I see looking at all the creative, is that even from a mass perspective, there is a lot of effort to use technology to connect with audiences in the way they are using platforms. And that said, it has not come down to everyone doing it. I see it in the fringes.
Yeah.
Where are we going directionally as an industry? Where do you think the future of creativity is when it comes to a personal level as well as a cultural level?
Yeah, so the immature stage was we use technology as a substitute for good thinking. We're now sort of in like the awkward teenage years where, you've got like the really cool kids that have leaned in and are doing the cool things, but it's still sort of fringy. The mature version is going to be technology as an enabler of creativity, right? Rather than technology as a substitute for creativity. And that to me does feel like an inevitability that we get closer and closer to that, as there are more complex and heretofore unthought of media platforms that exist, and like the ways that consumers interact with things is evolving, and things become more experiential. Like there are a million reasons why technology will become more present, not less. But it does have to feel like the enabler, not the kind of the substitute. So I think that just takes time. It takes time and pain and trial and error, and early movers and then fast followers.
Is this also an opportunity, Joanne, to almost equalize the fact that advertising before was not working for everybody, the same way in that we used to, as an industry, focus more on certain segments of people. And there are a lot of, as we look at America especially, there is a new majority coming in that is more diverse, more, in tune with what we see America as. In a way, data is allowing us to get to know those audiences and talk to those audiences equally and in a better way. Is that something that will equalize and make advertising work for everyone better?
Oh, that's a great question. I mean, so having access to good data is invaluable. Knowing what to do with that data is hard. So that is one place where I would like to say it's an equalizer, but it may not be because it's not actually that easy. And I think extracting signal from noise is not easy. And I think, really being able to understand and connect with humans isn't necessarily easy. So I think on the surface, the answer to your question is definitely yes. Yes, being able to better understand the sort of diversity of points of view and attitudes and needs of people theoretically should mean that you are able to do a better job of delivering things that are resonant to them. But I don't want to minimize actually how hard it really is.
Right. And is it also hard, because one of the things that we see time and time again when clients come to us, and one of the philosophies we practice is a notion of systems thinking, the fact that everything needs to be connected. And we come across so many instances where ideas, especially when it comes to addressable, creative, feel very disconnected from everything else. Part of it is the process that sometimes is set up on the client's end. Part of it is that we are not tuned as a collective to look and analyze the ideas as part of a system. How do we go about doing that?
Boy, I do love that. I mean, I keep saying signal from noise. I mean, again, that is where technology can help, but you have to decide that it matters to you. How can you tap into the cultural zeitgeist? I mean, you can do that in a very basic human way, but you can also do that using technology, using artificial intelligence to sort of look for systems and patterns, in massive data sets that would help just generally point you in a better direction, in terms of something like the zeitgeist. So I'm excited for that kind of stuff. I mean, I think it's very iterative. There's a lot of trial and error. That's a lot of noise that comes out of something like an AI-driven insight. But the more you look at that stuff, the more you can tune those systems to get better and smarter.
Another place, obviously, as we talk about technology, we've been talking about technology as process, technology as a connection point to consumers. As we look at various aspects of new ways to connect, AI is a place that has been slowly inching forward. I would not say it has reached its potential, reached its full potential at all. But would love to hear your thoughts. Is there still a space for that to kind of change our world?
Absolutely. I mean, the thing about AI is that it is omnipresent in advertising. We just don't know it, in everything from planning to optimization to creative. And so when we think about something like creative, there are many applications of artificial intelligence that are at play right now. And it could be something like natural language processing. It could be something like computer vision. It could be something like machine learning. I mean, all of those things are being used by technology companies right now in the creative space. And I think if you can figure out a way, again, to tune it to something that becomes a human insight or something that is human relatable, like a conversational ad or a choose your own adventure style ad, that's when it goes from sort of really behind the scenes important workhorse to something that starts to also feel like it's front and center in terms of the consumer experience. And I think we're going to see so much more there.
Yeah, I guess what you're almost saying is you need to seek out the answer rather than discover in the field of AI, because what you are looking for and what you program for, as long as it is connected to humans in a proper way, you're bound to get an answer that is insightful enough.
I hope so. I mean, I think it's a lot of human trial and error in partnership with technology. It's not either or, it's and.
So as we are, you've been painting this picture of this light that we are heading towards, the future of creativity, technology driven, addressability. As we go towards the end of the tunnel, is this light really bright? Is it a new age of creativity that we should all look forward to? Or do you think that this is something that's going to be really messy and going to mess with the current way in which we are going about creativity?
human history is one of, brilliant moments of insight and then like lots of disruptive messiness. And so to say that we are somehow headed towards some perfect, unified view of what perfect, beautiful creative looks like, or, the empowerment of creative people through technology. No, it's just going to be messy. We're going to try things. We're going to mess up. We're going to take steps backward. All of those things are going to happen. I mean, just look at the last 25 years of digital advertising or the digital world in general. I mean, it is all of those things, moments of massive disruption that change lots of things, and mistakes that get made and insights that are derived, and you take a leap forward and mess up and try some more things.
Excellent. Listen, this has been amazing having this conversation with you. Very insightful. I look forward to reading more of your work and look forward to all your lovely insights there. Definitely not sure whether it's utopia we are headed to, but it's definitely a different world that we all should look forward to, and look forward to changing ourselves.
I love that. Don't be afraid of change. You got to embrace it.
Excellent. Thank you.
Thank you.